Hi everyone, hope you are having a great day. I wanted to get on today and chat with you about how my book was really the linchpin and the key to being seen and being known as an expert in my niche. And I'll be giving you the example actually from my health and fitness book, my first book that I started with, Yoga for Runners. But first, I'll introduce myself real quick. Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Brombos of Blogger to Author. I am a #1 Amazon bestselling author, and I have self-published 4 books that are in print now. And I'm really passionate about helping my fellow bloggers, no matter what niche you are in, helping you take your content, making it easier to turn it into a self-published book that's going to help you build a lot of authority and credibility like my book did, that I'm going to dive into in a second, really help you cement your expert status and just help you build your visibility and make a little bit of money doing it too. So I'm again talking about the first book that I published for this video, Yoga for Runners. I do have a book that's more of a B2B blogger to author, turn your content into a book. And this one, it's a great book, absolutely did the same thing for me. But I know for some of you, when people give examples that are like, oh yeah, I'm in a B2B space where I'm helping other people make money, the examples don't necessarily translate as well unless you're also in that space. And so I want to give you a specific example of how my book, Yoga for Runners, this guy here, the first book that I wrote, how that really helped me solidify myself as an expert in yoga for runners. And I think a lot of you, especially if you're in the health and wellness space, even if you're a food blogger, but even if you're in a totally different space, I think that you'll be able to apply what I'm talking about to your business. So this book, I started out, I had it as an ebook for a few weeks, and then I got it into print pretty easy. I just took the PDF that I had already created, sent it in, and got that essentially into print using CreateSpace. These days you can also do the same thing through KDP Print. They're both run by Amazon. It's virtually the same thing. So I had this book that then I was working hard to promote and continue to sell, not only through the launch, but then after the launch as well. So it launched at, I'm trying to remember, it was either I think it was the last week of September in 2015, could have been the first week of October, but I think it was September. And then it continued to have really good sales throughout the fall and into Christmas. I know a lot of people bought copies for their friends who are runners, for example, and it's made really great gifts. So if you're thinking about writing a book, now is a great time to solidify it, get it sold so that you can build up some momentum for the holiday sales, just like I did. But by having that book out there, all of a sudden, for example, my peers started to look at me differently. Other running bloggers and somewhat other yoga bloggers, but I really came from the running niche and continued to focus on the running niche because those were the people who were going to be reading my book. And so my blogging peers started to see me in other ways, and I had, for example, opportunities to do guest posts on really big blogs, big running blogs, but then those opportunities also allowed me to not only reach a wider audience, but for fellow running bloggers to see like, hey, I know what I'm talking about, I know my stuff. And so they in turn came to me and, for example, when they're looking to share great content with their followers, they knew that I created quality content. And most importantly, they knew that I knew what I was talking about and that I was an expert because I had this book, which in turn made them really take a good hard look at the content on my blog, which they saw, and they saw that I was an expert. And so really the book was what started this snowball that then helped me again build a bigger, essentially become better known within the niche of running bloggers. And then there were larger and larger media outlets who then began to see that I was an expert in yoga for runners. And so this expanded into, for example, quotes that I've had media, for example, like print media companies especially, come in and ask me for quotes on certain things related to yoga for runners and just yoga in general, but aimed at athletes or people with that athletic or runner background. And so then that, allowed me to have, again, that additional exposure that I never would have been contacted for a quote, and I never would have been asked for a quote, I'm confident, if I didn't have that book, and if that hadn't helped me build my platform as an expert in yoga for runners. And really, it's sort of a larger look into my business plan. And really what I'm doing is I have really decided to focus in on that niche, number one, because it was something I was super passionate about. Like, I literally went to yoga teacher training because I wanted to teach yoga to runners, because it had had such a big impact on me as a runner. But then I have also really consciously decided to continue to focus on that and to do a big push to continue to make sure that people know that I am an expert on this in terms of content creation and posts and all sorts of different things. But all of that has been a very concerted effort that, again, ultimately it began with blog posts, but it really took off, and I gained a lot of visibility, and everything, my business and what I did on the fitness side, that all really took off because I had the book, and the book was what, again, took me, let's say my trajectory was just kind of a normal slope, but it really took me on a upward trajectory, a little bit of an exponential trajectory, because I had because of my book and everything that set off. So what's your take-home message, dear blogger or viewer? Really, my take-home here is that if you are trying to really solidify yourself as an expert in your niche, if you're trying to build more visibility, if you want to get more attention from media outlets and from fellow bloggers and bigger bloggers in your niche, whatever that looks like to you, a book can be a great way to get that started, to help you skyrocket what you're doing, to help you skyrocket your visibility, and to really help you become known, again, as an expert. And so I hope that you will take that into heart when you are deciding really what you want to do in terms of planning out where you need to go and the projects that are going to bring you there. And I really think that a book is going to help you get there, and help you get there faster than you would without a book. So take that to heart. If you have any questions about self-publishing your book or turning your content into a book, turning your blog posts or whatever content you have, definitely let me know. I do have a free guide that will help you do that. It is my 5-step guide to creating your first book. You can get that for free at bloggertoauthor.com/download. That's going to help you get started. So as always, let me know if you have any if you have any questions, and if not, until next time, happy writing. Take care.